great compliment is one of the best ways we can build an immediate connection. So why is it that they've gotten such a bad rap and men are afraid of using them? It's because when they're done poorly, they're also really, really bad ways to build connection, can be a detriment. So that's why I want to change that today and talk about the 3 key areas that make for a really, really solid compliment. So the first thing is that a compliment has to feel earned by the person receiving it. They have to feel like you have seen something in them that has impressed you, or they've done something that has made you appreciate them more, which actually makes them feel connected to you. When it's just a haphazard comment thrown out, or they haven't really shown you anything, it just doesn't feel like it's real. It could feel disingenuous. This is why, like, buying a woman a drink right off the bat at a bar generally doesn't work. Or just showering a girl with like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty" compliments on online dating. Because, everybody's told them that they're attractive, and it's not something that they've inherently done to like make that better, right? Like, they were just born attractive. Of course, they've made themselves look nice, but it just doesn't feel earned. They're like, why is this random guy saying that to me? He doesn't barely know me. Same thing with at a bar. Like, this guy's like going out of his way to give me free drinks when I've shown him nothing outside of my beauty. Is this dude like trying to get something? Is he really desperate? Why would a person who values himself and can have multiple connections and connect with the people he wants to, pick me and extend himself so much when he barely knows me? And so I think that's where a lot of the core idea of like compliments are bad starts from, is because guys give really generic, really bad compliments off the bat to women that they barely know. Let me put it another way. Imagine a stranger just hears you talking one day and they give you a compliment like, "Oh, you sound so smart." Like, great, it feels nice, but it doesn't carry that much weight. They don't know you very well. But imagine if it's somebody that you were actually invested in and you wanted to connect with. Maybe an idol in your mind, like Elon Musk, or somebody in the fitness world that's like really athletic and really successful. If you started talking to them and then they looked at you and said, "I really love the way you're thinking about things. You've got such a kind of interesting perspective on this," it would like feel amazing, right? You'd be like, "Oh my God, this awesome person recognized something in me." And like, I feel so touched by what they said. I feel close to them. I feel appreciated. You feel really flattered. Sometimes it's like really intense to take that compliment, but in a good way. So it's the same thing here. If you're giving generic compliments and they haven't been earned, they're just not going to carry that much weight. So the first thing is, again, compliments should be earned by the other person. So what you want to do is talk to them for a little bit. Maybe you're texting a woman, you're meeting them on a date, you're hanging out, you're on a voice call, whatever. Give it a few minutes at least where you guys are talking and you see something in them that you really like. Maybe it's their ambition, their sense of humor, the fact that they're so laid back, and it really strikes you. That is a moment where after you guys have started to connect for a little, you're like, "Hey, I really like this about this person. Let me tell them." And so when it's, again, in that moment, and you riff off that, it's going to feel sincere. And it's going to be like, "Whoa, we're starting to hang out and this person recognized this about me. Oh my God, that feels awesome." And this is generally why I think compliments on somebody's personality traits or behaviors or something they've done carries a little bit more weight overall than on physical compliments alone. Of course, you can do physical compliments, but the problem is when they're not specific to them. Okay, and they're not earned, right? If she's just beautiful, she's heard that a million times, and it's like, "Wow, you're beautiful. You have a nice smile. Great." But if you're going to go physical, make it something that you've recognized. Like, "Hey, every time you laugh, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Like, your laugh is so silly." Or, "I just love the energy you're bringing right now. It's really attractive to see you get, so fired up." Or, "Hey, I love like kind of the whole mix and match style you got going on. It's really unique." Something that's a little bit more tailored is going to be so much stronger. Okay, So that's part one, is again, make it a compliment that feels earned. If you're going to go with a physical compliment, make it something that is specific to her, something you recognize. The second trait of a great compliment is the why. Okay, specifically, why you find that compliment really true about her. Okay, because most people just stop before that. They say, again, I love how ambitious you are. Great. Or I love your sense of humor. It's not terrible, but a lot of people can feel that way. You want to express why that matters to you and why it impacted you. So not just saying, I like how ambitious you are, but I like how ambitious you are because I'm really attracted to people with a growth mindset, or because a growth mindset is really important to me. Or, hey, I just love how, laid back and chill you are, because that's something I've really valued in my life the last few years and what I'm really trying to build for myself or try to do for myself. Okay, that why makes it feel extra real, extra significant, that you notice something really key, and it makes her feel like you have something special together, right? Like, oh my God, this guy really appreciates this specific thing about me, and we share this, and he gets it in a way that nobody else does. Okay, so elaborating on the why, even in one sentence, it doesn't have to be much more than that, but just one sentence of like, I love the fact that you can talk about anything because it's so easy to relate to you and just feel like I can be myself. That is really key. All right, so again, recapping, second part, give a why. Specifically, it's important to you. If you can use the word I in it, sometimes it helps kind of connect instead of just saying it generically like, oh, I like your ambition. That's really cool. I like your ambition because I, have really tried to work on myself and challenge myself for the last year. All right, now, last but not least, is making the compliment flirtatious. So not all of your compliments have to be flirtatious, but I think some of them should be. Occasionally, because you're trying to convey, not only do I like you as a person, but I'm also starting to find you attractive. All right, and the simplest way to think about this is the difference of where it crosses the threshold of where you'd say this to a male friend or colleague or not. So I could say, I really love, your nerdy side. It's cool to just be able to talk that stuff openly with you. Fine. I could say that to almost anybody. But if I started saying words like adding words like attractive, sexy, hot, cute, I like that in a woman, or I'm looking for that in a woman, or in someone, you probably wouldn't say that to a guy friend. So if I was to say I love your intellectual side, I feel like I can get down and nerdy with you. I think that's really cute. Or I really like that about a woman. Or I think that's a really attractive quality in someone, to just be able to tap into your quirky side. Okay, it's going to feel really good to a woman, probably a little weird to your male friends. So that's kind of where the threshold goes. So let's say you're on a date, and let's tie this all together. First part being they've earned it, second part being the why, and third part using some words like attractive, sexy, cute. I like that. I find that it's really important to me in a partner. I like that in a woman. Just making it more than just platonic at that point. All right. So I am really into people who are into self-development. So if a woman was talking to me and was like, yeah, I've been trying to meditate more, I've been reading this book I really love and trying to just get more self-confident expressing myself, that would really strike me. And that's probably something I want to compliment her on. So I might say something like, I just love that, you're thinking about how you can improve yourself, because that's not an easy thing for a lot of people to admit, especially to a stranger. But it is something I think is really attractive in somebody and something I really value. Perfect. Again, it doesn't have to be every compliment you do to a woman, and it probably shouldn't be, but you mix in some really strong normal compliments, and then all of a sudden you hit somebody with a flirtatious compliment, and again, that contrast is going to be like, oh my God, this guy's really said something strong, and she's going to feel a little aroused or a little flattered or a little appreciated, and it starts to build you as a potential intimate or sexual prospect in her mind. And that's about it. Overall, if you're doing this correctly, it shouldn't stress you out. It's not like you have to give endless amounts of compliments in an interaction with somebody. In fact, if you're doing these right, you probably only are giving 1, 2, maybe 3 compliments that are really sincere because they have to earn it and it has to be special to you. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to think about, instead of just arbitrarily like, oh, I should compliment girls more and I should tell them that they're ambitious because that's what Nick said. I'd rather you say, let me reflect on either a few conversations or dates I've had, or just in general what I like about women or people in terms of values. Let me write down 1 or 2 of those in my back pocket, just the idea. So maybe you like people that are really into, EDM, and maybe you like people who are really loyal to their friends. I don't know, something like that. Okay, keep that in the back of your head where you're like, cool, if this girl shows me that she's into EDM or maybe similar music to me, or she shows me like how she's really close to people and she cares for her friends or she proactively thinks about others, when I recognize that, I'm just going to try to tap into my sincere emotions, not make it some fake idea that I need to just do, but I actually need to think about this and feel it and express that to her. And if you do that, it's pretty easy. It'll maybe feel a little conscious at first, and you're going to write those 1 or 2 things down right now, but eventually it'll just start to be natural, and you'll be on a date and you'll recognize, wow, I love this about this person. I got to tell them right now. You should really lean into that. So that's it today, guys. And if you liked what you heard, we're going to be producing more videos on dating, social skills, and really connecting with women in your romantic life. So subscribe below, and we'll see you around.